Alright, welcome back. I am Aabicus and we're playing a map, Numbani, my favorite map. One of my favorite maps. I have a lot of favorite maps in this game. There are just so many, and they're so different looking. I know it's not super important competitively what they look like, but I like beautiful maps, and I find this map really beautiful. So, always excited that we get to play on Numbani. The teams are Primal versus... Alright, let's see if I can get this right. Mean Green Meme Machine. And because I'm not interested in doing tongue twisters the entire match, I usually shorten them to MGMM, which still sounds pretty regal. So those are the two teams we have right now. Stonker, Cash, LSD, Solus, Prophet, and Hellhound. Massive kudos to them for all having very easy to pronounce names. On Team Primal, we have Gajiro, Kifs, Lickitung, Thrakon, Crash, and Heisen. Gajiro is on Torbjorn. Looks like he's building his turret up on that walkway, which was where he built it last time these two teams fought on Numbani. I'm pretty sure that it was these two teams, and this time around I have my handy dandy phone on hand, so I will be able to keep track of the time so we can actually see which one of these teams was faster. That's probably something that I needed to start doing, so we do have the clock running. Here we go. Stonker and the rest of MGMM are on offense, and they're pushing in there. I see a lot of tanks, 3 to be exact, 2 offense and 1 healer, going very high on HP count and DPS. Who is that flanking around from the top? I see Stonker is up there with Roadhog. Hesitating to push in a little bit. Looks like he either saw Lickitung coming or anticipated. That turret is down almost immediately. This is a very intense offensive push on the point of MGMM. LSD is down, but I think that when it comes to trade-offs, the offense is definitely taking this one. They've only managed to get a little bit of capture time on the point, but that is about to change in a millisecond. Looks like Stonker is choosing to jump in, keep some suppressive fire laid down. That was a Mercy Soldier 76 combo, the closest thing Overwatch has to ulti duo at the moment for hardcore TF2 competitive fans, and that is the capture of the point. Stonker has already got his ult down, along with Cash, who's playing Roadhog, who's trying to bust in there and keep them as far away from the control point as possible, and that was probably not what he was hoping to have happen with that ultimate. Almost completely countered by the opposing Roadhog's hook, so Cash will get another chance. He is respawning as Widowmaker. His teammates are moving forward with the payload. The other Roadhog has his ultimate ready. Doesn't look like he feels a real need to use it right now. Pulling Pharah out of the sky and dying for his efforts. That payload still moving forward pretty effectively. Nothing really to worry about. I want to get some first-person Widowmaker in here because she's a fun class to watch. But Reinhardt, you know, I'm consistently surprised at how good Reinhardt is, not only at blocking everyone, but also at really countering snipers in this game. For all of her strengths, she and Hanzo, the two snipers, are usually relegated to kind of niche positions, and I really think a large part of that is Reinhardt and that shield of his. But they're definitely still pushing in here pretty effectively. That payload is not stopping for nobodies, and let's see who's got some cool ults. She has a cool ult, but she's dead. So they are able to push the defense back very effectively. They are making extremely good time. They have only been this match has only been 2.5 minutes long, so they are definitely making mad time through this African utopia. Thrakon, ooh, I see that there's a cool little group of people up there who all have ult. There is a lot of ults on the defensive side that they're probably going to start busting very soon. We have the first one, Soldier 76, spotting other Soldier 76 and killing him, but dying himself. Moderately successful ult on his part. And who is that? I heard it twice. I think both, yes, Hellhound and Lickitung both popping those ults. Only Lickitung living to tell the tale. Heisen very far back, trying to bother Prophet, and succeeding at that quite well. Solus in there to try and do a little bit of work, and is going to push back. That is pretty much a defensive victory on that one. I do see that, did Heisen? No, Heisen, I thought Heisen popped ult. He just kind of looked like it because he's bouncing around like that. The offense is going to regroup. Let's check out ultimates. I see that Stonker does have his ready, but there's nobody really close enough for him to work with there. The offense is going to push in, and the defense has the aerial advantage at the moment, so not going to get very far with that. There's basically two different little fights going on, one on the control point and one down here, and whichever team can win that upper fight I actually think is more important. And here we go, we do have the ult going in for Winston, and he's getting a lot of damage, but he's not really getting a lot of kills. Prophet so far, the only one to land 2 kills recently. There's basically just a lot of shielding and a lot of health happening in this fight on the cart right now. Excuse me. And that is a mass revive from Solus, who managed to get out with her life. Yes, very nice. And double booms going out for the 2 Lucios, successfully keeping a lot of teammates alive and basically giving everybody who isn't LSD an opportunity to back off and survive. Lickitung already having that other ult out, popping it, getting a bunch of kills with Crash's assistance, who did also cast his ult in order to get that to happen, and that was pretty much a very successful defensive push. And the offense is going to have to regroup around this little corner right here. They are going to be able to do so thanks to Soldier 76 sprinting back into the fight at lightning speed. But that does mean that the advantage does go to the defense, because I do see that there is a Soldier 76 up there who has the high ground. Where is he? There he is. Oh, but he is having to deal with Hellhound. Probably going to be able to either finish off Hellhound or force her back down. And either way, he's getting a lot of work done for his team. And let's check the payload. The payload itself sitting there looking mighty fine. Kind of stuck in this little underground tunnel thing, not being able to really push at the moment. Oh my gosh, here we go, and that is a very intense Zarya push. Everybody who wasn't a tank getting destroyed. I think Gojira was a little slow on that sound barrier because everybody was dead, and right after the sound barrier, his team Mercy revived them all. A little bit better timed was Cash's sound barrier. All of his teammates were alive for it, and they took that opportunity. LSD and Hellhound getting a couple of kills each to clean out the defensive line, and they're going to push that forward. The defense does not have a Lucio at the moment, though that is going to end. That's going to fix itself very quickly. Being defense this close to the checkpoint, they are going to have their teammates respawn very, very, very fast. And here we go, Gojiro trying to sneak in there, getting a couple points. Earthshaker on Thrakon, getting some damage on the opposing. And there we go, 2 jousting Reinhardts. LSD emerges victorious. There is definitely an advantage to offense at the moment. Rancor, who is Rancor? Okay, I don't see a Rancor on the map. The Rancor left the game, but both teams still have 6 players, so I think we're good to go. Gojiro standing there, completely stopping the cart from moving, while his teammates pop ults left and right to kill teammates. Stonker and Lickitung trading each other's lives. They are doing a very good job of staying on the point right now. I think the offense is basically losing this push. Let's see. I see Gojiro is trying to bother, but no, that was a pretty quick respawn. Good job on their part, and we have a lot of ultimates ready. I see that Prophet has her gravity barrier ready to fire if there are enough opponents in a tiny area that she wants to deal with that. And there we go, used mainly, and oh, well, there we go, LSD and Stonker swooping in and getting a bunch of kills. Very nice. But the cart is not moving. The defense is doing a great job of keeping at least one fella on the cart over and over and over again. Looked like they were just about to be able to push it, and then Winston went ultimate and is now just going ham on those opponents. And the payload is going to move a little bit while he is a bit, I wouldn't say out of position. There's no such thing when you're the only surviving defender. You just do whatever you can. Gojiro getting in there, getting air blasted off the point, just a desperate attempt to push the payload. The 1 inch it needs, it is so close to the checkpoint right now, and there are so many players on the oh, Lickitung sneaking in there, stopping the payload, giving a couple more seconds. Heisen staying on there, and they're just funneling defenders onto that point one by one, but Thrakon not fast enough to keep that from happening. That's going to be the point. Took 8 minutes and 24 seconds to get that payload cart down to the end.
never die. Fortress.
That was a pretty intense play of the game. I love Soldier 76 plays from the game where they just go like just plowing through a defensive line. Very, very good. We are going to see another match in Numbani. Right now they're going to switch sides, and it is going to be Primal's turn to push that payload cart, trying to beat an 8... oh, you know what? There's a match time. Dude, I just bloody noticed that. There's a match time right there, 8 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't have to keep track on my phone anymore. I can just look at the clock. I'm so excited. I'm really stupid because it took me this long to notice that, but damn, that's good. I'm gonna just look at that from here on out. 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Seriously, I cannot get over how excited I am to have actually noticed that. It's so cool. This is a very cute little room. You know, one of the things that always gets kind of underloved are the spawn room for defense in maps. I mean, look at this. This looks like some sort of a lounge, perhaps. Looks like it's like the opening to a dance hall or something like that. But everyone is going to spawn. Everyone is going to sprint out of this lounge, and then they're going to lose the control point, and you will never see this room again. Probably the least broken bottles of alcohol in Overwatch. Those don't tend to have much of a lifespan when they're sitting in spawn rooms. Said defense is running a Torbjorn. Always love when they ran a Torbjorn. I like to see where he sets his sentry up. There's a Vast Me Hardy's C Torbjorn. His other teammates consist of 2 support, 2 offense, and 1 tank. And then one of those support is Stonker, who is a very good Soldier 76. I've seen him play a few other classes very well, but I think that he is definitely, he excels a lot on Soldier 76. Opposing him, I do see that we have 1, 2, 3 offense, 2 tank, and 1 support. Primal is not going for a lot of healing there, especially now that Crash has left Soldier 76 and moved on to Genji. Kifs, as Lucio, is going to be the only person healing teammates, and of those teammates, Thrakon is the only one who can heal himself. So they are relying very, very heavily on damage per second, and not even health, honestly. Gojiro is the only, Heisen as well, I guess. Heisen and Gojiro both have a lot of HP, and we are going to see a push in here. Who was that? Cash's sentry already down. I didn't see where he built it, but wasn't that useful, I guess? I'm going to assume that he's rebuilt a new sentry on the point, so interesting idea. Just put a sentry, bother them a little bit, and then be ready when they get back for the new one. So I guess it does bother them for like a second. And here we go. We're going to push in. Crash sneaking around the back. No, a little bit of capture point on the time. And where is it? Activating self-destruct sequence. Everybody was able to survive that self-destruct sequence. Good job. And they are getting a lot of capture time on the point. Where is the defense? They're giving that up very, very soon. And there is it. That is the time the payload is now in motion. And the sentry is once again down to Torbjorn, having a little bit of a difficulty. I bet he's wondering whether he should switch class. Nobody really plays Torbjorn after they lose the front point, but he does have 95% ultimate, so I'm assuming he wants to go Molten Core, so he's probably waiting for that. I don't know if he gets ultimate for repairing or building turrets, but if he does, he's going to have it in 1 second. He's probably going to pop it immediately. Or something around that. But either way, his stuff is ready when it comes to ultimates. Otherwise, see that Stoner is prepared with an ultimate. He's on the front lines. His team is backing him up. No real need to cast it at the moment. And he's doing a, I've noticed that Stonker has really been blocking the skies. And here we go. We do have the ultimate. Getting Crash down to a sliver of health, but Crash is going to escape and counter ult. And that is Stonker. And Crash has his own special way of defending the skies, forcing the Mercy to pop her ultimate, and is going to survive, and is going to get out alive. It was a good ultimate. I don't think he got as many kills as he was hoping for, though I should know that he did force the Mercy to pop ult. So all things considered, a very good success. Kifs, speaking of Mercies, has switched over, so there's a little bit more HP healing coming in on the point of Primal. and they are attempting to regain control of the point right now. The point is continuing to move forward instead of backward, which is always nice. And I do see that Cash still up. He must have molten cord at some point in all of that, and I'm very surprised at how long he is staying on Torbjorn, just really trying to keep his sentry, give his team a little bit of damage. Going to switch around to the other side, and it's not going to have very much luck on that. Be interesting to see if he decides to keep playing Torbjorn after that. And here we go, Gojiro on Lucio with the sound barrier for his team. Everybody but Hyzen alive to enjoy it. Solus getting a revive. Wow, she was in the middle of so many enemies. I'm very surprised she was able to get that revive before they killed her. And Zarya on her team, the only one with a real chance to do something of it. All the other people who were revived almost instantly died, and she actually has a lot of health with the help of her barrier, and she is not able to get out alive, but she did stall them for a little bit, and the defending team, sans her, is going to almost entirely respawn and be ready as this payload rolls through the underpass and in to the final curve before the end checkpoint. And who is that standing over there? Oh, that's just a Reaper. He kind of looked like a Bastion from just his positioning, but that's not going to be a Bastion. I do see it. Stonker has his ultimate prepared, going to spectate him a little bit, see if he pops that anytime soon. And him focus firing Lickitung reminds me of what I was talking about. I noticed that Stonker is very good at remembering to look up. A lot of players in first-person shooters consistently forget to look up, but he does not, and he does have his ultimate prepared, mostly getting countered by Reinhardt. Did not even manage to kill Lickitung, and that was a pretty much failed ult on that regard. But he is back alive, ready to give it another go. And he's going to push Gojiro back, and Hellhound coming in with the massive kills on that Pharah ult. Very good job. And the payload is assuredly, comfortably under control of the defense. Offense having to respawn. Give this another try. And here we go, pushing in through the underpass, being protected by Reinhardt, and I could be talking about either team with that sentence. Both teams very solidly put together. What is Prophet doing back there? He is hiding. And there we do have a sound barrier coming out from Lucio. Poor never spectated Lucio. His ult is so cool that I spectate somebody else while it's going out. And Hyzen does have her ultimate prepared. Not really anywhere or anything she could do with it, because they're actually getting those kills on their own. Thrakon getting some work and eliminating some people, but the medic just brought a bunch of people back to life behind them, which forces Zarya to push the ult out there in the hopes of trying to get something done with that. No real combo on that. It might have been a little bit of a panic ult. Not sure if that was completely necessary, but who am I to talk? They wiped through the defense, and the payload's moving forward, so definitely worse things could have happened. Solus is down, but several members of her team are up and coming out, and I don't think this card's going to be able to make it there all the way before these opponents are able to get out and stop it. And here we go. The payload is so close to the checkpoint, but there are so many opponents that are just standing on it. MGMM not letting the payload get through all the way. They are fully respawned, and they are mopping up what little opponents were trying to hide in this part. Sorry, Genji. Where is Genji? Genji does have ult, so when he feels like popping and when his team comes back out, everybody whose name isn't Hellhound and is on Prime. I'm not sure where I was going with that. A bunch of people on one team have ult except Hellhound, who also has ult, and it's on the other team, I suppose. But after that horribly awkward sentence, we do see a Genji ult, one of the funnest ults to watch in the game, because the crazy melee ninja man. And crazy melee ninja man manages to plow through a couple of dudes, does not get the mercy in time, and she is able to revive her teammates. That would have been very different if they'd managed to drop that mercy before she popped her ult. And there we go. She's down, but there's too many defenders on the point right now. It's not going anywhere. It's actually going backwards of all things. I see that Stonker is about ready with another ult at 71%. Hellhound, having just used the thing, is going to have another one very soon. Lickitung and Thrakon trying to push people back while teammates revive. Let's see who is going on. Yeah, no, Thrakon not dying, actually just chilling on the point. For how long, I'm not sure, but he's successfully kept the point from rolling backwards, and he's waited until his team showed up, and there is a sound barrier from Lucio, immediately using his ult to finish off LSD, the opposing Reinhardt, and then get a free hit on the opposing Lucio Cash while we're at it, and that is going to be the payload moving forward, and they are making pretty decent time. Let's see, the payload is still not moving. Was that another revive from Solus? Mercies get their ultimates so quickly in the current build of Overwatch, and here they are pushing in, blocking the payload, and getting some damage on LSD and Thrakon, and oh my gosh, we have an enraged monkey on the field. Completely blocking out that payload for the time being, and the payload is down to 1 minute and 57 seconds. I don't think that they are, like, even if they managed to get the payload in the entire way, I think the other team was a little bit faster, but it's still exciting to see whether they can get on the clock with a captured payload. This has been a very solid defense. See, the Stonker is ready, and he is in the rafters. He does have the three-dimensional advantage if he were to start going nuts with that ult. No real need to right now. The opposing team is really being pushed into the underpass, being heavily blocked by that Reinhardt shield, which is going to either go down or be very low. And let's see, they are pushing the opposing team backwards quite well. I see a lot of teammates in there, and Hellhound also has her ult ready, and there's a lot of ults. I see 4 ults prepared for both teams. It'll be interesting to see whether, and there we go, a double sound barrier, bunch of healed people right now, a Zarya ult being pushed out, Thrakon finishing off, and there we go, Stonker with the tactical visor, able to get a lot of damage out on Thrakon, but it didn't really matter that much because he is a Reinhardt and has loads of HP. And there we go, there's an Earthshaker from LSD. A little bit of a successful Earthshake, but not really. Thrakon getting, I should be spectating Thrakon. Look at all this work that guy's getting done. He is still alive, too. What a trooper. And that was another block, and we have 22 seconds left on the clock. Is there anyone on red even really in a position? Hyzen trying to peek her head around the corner, but at 14 seconds, they're going to need to group up and push. They need to get this checkpoint in, like, you know, the next 8 seconds. Come on, there we have Crash. Lickitung has switched to Soldier 76. Don't know when, but he does have his ult ready, and he's got them in his sights, but he's being mostly blocked by that Reinhardt ult. But he was able to eliminate Stonker, and the offense is rallying to the cause, managing to get on that control point. Cash as Lucio really pops that sound barrier for just himself so that he can block that payload for a little bit longer, and that's exactly what he's doing. Prophet has switched to Diva and is in there on the control point. Even after death, she's allowed to block the payload for a couple seconds longer thanks to her I'm not dead, I'm just out of my mech suit ability. Massive revive from Solus, bringing a bunch of teammates back to life, but they're still mopping through them with the wow, Crash going completely nuts with those kills. And we have an ultimate for Crash, who is just getting mad work done on this control point. I can't even fathom how many kills Crash just got during that little overtime section. And that is game right there. They did still manage to get the control point and win. Yeah, it took them 10 minutes and 45 seconds. MGMM was indeed the faster team, so according to Stopwatch, they do win the pair of games. But it is commendable for both teams to make it and push their payload to the end of the checkpoint, and I am interested to see what the next map is. And we are back. The next map is going to be King's Row, fan favorite King's Row, second only to Hollywood, King's Row. And we are going to be seeing, let's check out the team rosters at the moment. Not much more to say on this map. A very popular map, played constantly. And one team, Primal, does have their 6 character classes chosen already. They're going for 2 tanks, 2 offense, 2 support. Very cookie cutter, very standard hero choices on their side. And the exact same thing could be said for the other team, with the exception of that Zenyatta. Another Zenyatta. I really enjoyed watching. Which team was it? It was... I can't remember the name. It was... Spicy Rice or something like that. But I watched a different team that had a Zenyatta that was just completely insane, and it was so fun to watch that Zenyatta. And so I am probably going to be giving Cash a lot of an unfair amount of screen time, not the least of which being because he's a really cool Zenyatta, an Egyptian Zenyatta, and he is going to give up on Zenyatta, so never spectating Cash again. It's true. Both teams pretty cookie cutter team loadouts at 2 offense, 2 tanks, 2 support, and then one of those offenses is Soldier 76, who is very good at healing his teammates. So let's see. It looks like they're just going to go straight through the front door. Don't see that often. Not sure why, because it usually ends up boiling down to the same thing. And that is pretty much what's going on here. The offense team is going to flank around, and wow, they're actually pushing in a lot faster than I expected. LSD leading the front of his team. And what happened there? The somebody's barrier broke, but either way, it didn't matter that much. And we do have some mad melee happening right now on the control point. Let's see, Crash getting in there, flanking in from the back. Getting a lot of damage on Hellhound. And let's see how Stonker is doing on the opposing team. Is likewise. Soldier 76 is a pretty good flanker. He's not normally seen as a flanker, probably because of his biotic field, making it very easy for him to heal his teammates, meaning that he benefits a lot from having his team with him. He's just really an extremely versatile hero, all things considered. And he is going to go in there. He's not going to use his tactical visor just yet. Probably waiting for that Reinhardt shield to go down. No, he is not. He's just going to go right now. Shoot Lickitung out of the sky. And that's pretty much it. But shooting Lickitung out of the sky is a big deal because she was not there to enjoy the benefits of this sound barrier, which is giving the defense ample opportunity to push the offense backwards. And now it is the offense's turn for a sound barrier. Only 3 of them alive to enjoy it, but one of them is Stonker, the Soldier 76. But oh dear, that Zarya ult countered for the time being by that Reinhardt ult, knocking a bunch of people to the ground. And that is overall, when the smoke clears, the defense was really, all things considered, able to defend the point, not even let the offense get a single tick of capture time on that control point. And so the offense is going to completely regroup and going to be ready to come back around for another pass. Not yet. At the moment, they're going to hide behind that wall. I don't know if they're waiting for another ult to build, because they do have ult advantage right now, with 2 players having a full ult and Stonker very close to having ultimate themselves. But they are pushing in now, and Stonker is ready, and there are still no ults prepared on Primal, with the exception of Mercy, so they are going to be able to revive after these ultimates plow through the entire team. And it's starting now. Crash and Thrakon are both down. Lickitung just managed to finish off Solus, though she did use her ultimate before she died. So not as not as useful, but still useful, because there we go. Lickitung getting a bunch of damage out, finishing off Prophet, but Stonker and LSD were able to mop up, and they are able to capture the control point. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left in the game. And here we go. They are pushing in there. They're being very aggressive, but they are leaving 2 people on the payload, which limits the amount of damage, the amount of suppressing fire they can do. But that is meaning that but it doesn't mean that their payload's going to move faster. And Soldier 76 does have his ultimate ready, so I'm going to be focusing on him because this is a pretty nice little choke point for that sort of thing, but it does look like he's going to hold onto it for a rainy day. Until now, we're going with the tactical visor, mostly countered by the sound barrier, probably going to be entirely wiped out before you even start like checking into people's permanent health. And so there we go. That payload is moving forward very effectively. Who just got downed? Lickitung got downed, and oh, very good timing on that Earth Shatter by Reinhardt because Zarya had just popped her ultimate, but then everybody was on the ground, too dazed and confused to enjoy it. So who is that? That is Heisen flanking around the back, getting a little bit of work done, but Stalker was all things considered pretty much ready for it. And his ultimate is ready, so we're going to stay on him for a while. The defense is a little bit split up here. But I mean, the offense is pretty split up too, and the payload is still moving forward. If they could just get to that final checkpoint, which they might be able to do, there are a lot of people in their way, but there's a sound barrier. Crash actually has them in his sights. So I was trying to get spectator. There we go. Stonker is down. Hellhound is up and does have her ultimate prepared, but really does not have the positioning for anything that she's hoping to do, and she is down. And I do see that there are 2 ultimates ready on the opposing team, but they are being pushed so far back. Where even are they? They're all the way back on the control point. That payload is no. Oh, there we go. Good kill by Lickitung. But then he is back. Solus reviving his team. Kif's reviving her team. I'm very bad at pronouns when it comes to Overwatch because I never know. First of all, I don't know the player's pronoun, and then I just kind of tend to go by character. So here we go, pushing in. Stronger continuing to nurse that ult. Has not decided to pop it yet. Hellhound, likewise, has her ultimate still, though it's mainly because she died before she could cast it. And at the moment, there's not really any targets for her to focus on. But they did manage to that sound was the payload reaching the checkpoint. They have 4 minutes and 7 seconds, not counting overtime, to push the cart. Pretty healthy amount. I think defense has been doing a very good job of not giving this up easily. And here we go. Is that Crash? That is Crash going ham with the tactical visor. I want to say he's gone through 2 of those in the time Stonker has held on to his, but maybe he just hasn't gotten the opportunity. Hellhound getting a kill on Thraken, but for the most part, a lot of players on the offense getting killed in one way or another. And Solus is prepared to revive them, but she was too busy being dead to do so at that point, so they're going to have to wait for a respawn wave, and they're going to push down through this chokehold. Let's see if we can find somebody. There we go. The tactical visor is activated, and he's going to go out with it, and he is literally going to go out with it. I was not trying to hit escape. I was trying to... Where am I? Just show me anybody. There we go. Lucio. Gojiro flanking around the back. But that payload still moving forward. How are we doing on ultimates? Both Mercies have an ultimate, as does Thrakon, the Reinhardt. I should really spectate the Reinhardts more. They have both been doing mad work for their team. And as I say that, he gets a bunch of damage dealt out on those 2. Wow. Oh, I'm glad I was spectating when that happened. That was great. Tag teaming that with the Heisen ultimate to, and then in Crash. Yes, Heisen and Crash going through, getting a bunch of kills on that one. Almost a full respawn for Team MGMM, and they are going to come back through this chokehold. Cash is at a sliver of health, but still alive and doing what needs to be done. Very devastating Zarya ult, completely countered by the Mercy ult, giving Solus, the Mercy for MGMM, the ult advantage. And there we go, a Earth Shatter by Reinhardt, ending in his death, but then being revived, meaning both medics have popped their ult. All deaths are final until respawn. Oh, wow, they are building ults so quickly. Look at that ult charge on Solus, already back up to 70%. The Reinhardts showing that they can build ult quickly too. And then I see that Gojiro is alive and does have that sound barrier. And something important is going to need to happen soon because that cart is just about to finish the control point. Gojiro, the only thing until that Soldier 76, blocking that control point. Gojiro saving the match right there for the time being. And they are pushing back. Crash does have the tactical visor and is going to go out with it and is going to die. Good try, decent amount of damage dealt before succumbing. Mercy ult is going to bring a bunch of offenders back on the point. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. And where is that explodey thing? It must have already exploded. And there we go, plowing through the defensive line and managing to get it in there. It looked like there was about 1 minute left on the clock. Relatively decent time, but also certainly beatable by the opponent. So we're going to see how Primal does when it's their turn to push the payload.
Heroes never die. For a price.
Very bold move by Kifs as Mercy, not even waiting for the ultimate by Pharah to end, just jumping in there and mass reviving everybody. Very good play. If I'm shoutcasting and I just stop and then you hear a really loud noise, that's because there's another cockroach in my room. If anybody's actually listening through my shoutcast, they will find something of a running trend since last night. I don't know how they're all getting in here, but I've captured 4 of the nasty buggers in the last 24 hours, and I've put them all outside because I'm a tender, kind-hearted soul, which is probably part of the reason there are so many of them. But I put them outside, but they just keep finding their way back into this room, and I have to capture them. So that's happening, and no teammates have spawned, but that bottle has already broke in. It actually doesn't look like all the riffraff respawns, because I think all of this wreckage happened when the previous team was in this room. So that's interesting. I didn't know that was how that worked. I thought the rubbish respawned. And the teams are ready and waiting. This is Primal. Waiting patiently in spawn, and by waiting in spawn I mean apparently destroying all of the very expensive security cameras. Though their mission is to push a bomb into the Omnic underground and blow up a bunch of Omnic civilians, so presumably they don't care that much about property damage. And they are deciding to go with 2 offense, 2 support, and 2 tanks. Very standard, all standard classes. Ooh, let's see where Cash is setting up those sentries. Cash is choosing to put those sentries. Is going to lock out that wall and is going to make a... Oh, interesting. All right, cool. So they're going to run by, probably not see it, and get a bunch of free damage to build Cash's ult. Not as much as they were probably hoping for, only 13%. Because when playing Symmetra, one of your goals should be to get that teleporter up as soon as possible. Because it's going to keep bringing people back into the fray far quicker than your enemies can kill them. And there we do have a Junkrat. I love spectating Junkrat in competitive. And there we go. Taking control of the statue is Team Primal at the moment, using it for cover as they flank around the sides. And who is that? That is Crash going in there, trying to see what he can get done at 17 HP. I mean, really, when you're at 17 HP, escaping enemy lines, surviving is its own reward. And being a little bit timid here, holding back, not really pushing in all aggressive like. But here we go. Whose heroes never die? That was the offensive heroes, or no, that was the defensive heroes. Bringing a couple more defenders. Hellhound is down. Who's still up? I see Stonker is alive and has his ultimate ready. I think. Oh dear. Here we go. Stonker is down. All the defense, I think, is down. Wow, they're going to get so much capture time on this point before anybody is going to be able to respawn and even contest it. And they're not even going to let them contest it. They're pushing 3 players forward. So this is almost certainly going to be a capture. And if they leave, looks like they're leaving both support on the payload and pushing all the non-support forward. So there we go, moving in. Stonker did not pop his ultimate, so he still has it. Looks like he is going to hold on to it for the time being. On the opposing side, I see that Heisen has her ultimate prepared, and as does pretty much a bunch of people on various spots of the map. And I do see some Reinhardt jousting going on right on the front lines, and there is a lot of damage coming out on this control point right now. Heroes never die on Team Primal. And there is a revive happening right there. Is Solus going to counter? Yes, she is. Solus is going to get in. Does not even die. But the Zarya ult, actually, that wasn't too awful. A lot of deaths on both sides. I think that was a pretty successful move on the part of the offense and really the defense. But Tide does go to the defense at this stage in the map when they are so far away from the checkpoint. And they're going to respawn. They're going to push in there. I'm stuck on the wall. And they are retreating. Looks like for the most part the defense is pushing back to the safety of this little area. And what is happening over there with Hellhound? Not much. Crash not giving him anything, and he does have his ultimate prepared, but there's not really a lot of people to target for him at the moment. So he's going to stick around the control point. Prophet is going to finish off Lickitungs. They're fighting at a disadvantage. Crash hoping to fix that, getting a lot of damage out, but it was right after a Lucio sound barrier. So a lot of people, almost everybody did manage to survive that death flower, even though they were all right in the middle of it. And anyone who did die is now back to life thanks to Mercy's ult. Mercy being played by Solus, but they do have control of the payload and they are pushing it forward. They are almost certainly going to capture that checkpoint, giving them a whopping 6 minutes and 17 seconds. They are moving so quickly through this place. I'm very surprised at how fast they're going. And here we go, pushing the cart more. The defense mostly hanging back. I see that Hellhound does have her ultimate prepared, but she is going to have to joust Lickitung for the skies first. Can she get No, Lickitung back to full health. Not able to get any particular opportunity, and that was Prophet casting her ultimate on getting a kill on Gajiro, at least. So something happened there, and Lickitung is down. We might be seeing the ultimate. Here we go. Oh, so much damage. Wow. Who still has ultimate? Heisen, who I am not spectating, has her ultimate prepared, but it does look like she is going to die before she gets a real chance to put that off. Stonker has switched to McCree, going for that long range, very accurate damage. Does Overwatch let you change crosshairs? Because there's no way in heck I would want that crosshair as McCree. So I don't know, but maybe one day they'll let us change crosshairs, but I think it's not really important. There's Solus does have her ult, but oh, look at how many ults there are prepared on that side. We do have the sound barrier going out. Heisen also popping her ultimate to give everybody a chance. Not a lot of kills, though now there are a lot of kills. Good heavens. Oh my gosh. Gojiro, of all people, as Lucio, managing to get a whole bunch of kills. Not really something that happens to Lucio that often, but it certainly happened there. I don't think they're going to even respawn in time to block this. Wow, there were 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. I am pretty sure that Primal was able to beat that map faster than MGMM.
Oh, let's break it down!
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, that was amazing. A mass air blast to the depths of hell. Oh, that was great.
Epic.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'd be upvoting that too if I weren't spectating and don't get a vote. Oh, I want pizza. Darn it. Ah, well.